Last episode, we had just begun the design on the KT01. We showed you guys some of the early suspension geometry layout, the centerline sketches. That's where it all begins. We've made a lot of progress. We've got the chassis tube layout. We've got the suspension components started. We've got a lot of the plumbing and critical components locked down. Now we're at a point where we can start the body design. We're gonna be heading down to Advanced Fiberglass today to get that started, and we're gonna take you guys with us. Today we're here in Costa Mesa, California at Advanced Fiberglass. We've worked with these guys on a handful of different projects in the past, and they're definitely some of the best in the industry. The quality of work they do and the attention to detail is above anything else. Today we're going to walk you guys through the shop, give you a little bit of shop tour, and start talking about details on the new KT01 kit truck and how we're going to develop the body.
What's up guys, I'm John. I'm an owner over here at Advanced Fiberglass Concepts, and today I'm gonna show you our operation and what we are gonna do for the Armada KT01 truck. We got started about 25 years ago. It is a family business. Me, my dad, as well as my twin brother. We run the entire operation. Vehicle comes in, we'll 3D scan the vehicle, reverse engineer the data, we'll design the entire kit, throw it on the machine. The machine will then take the tool bits, carve the shape down, and like you see behind me, we have a bunch of plugs that are for our Bronco 4.5-inch kit. Make the molds, make the parts, install it, and then sell it to our customers. So we build off-road fenders, bedsides, hoods, hardtops, you guys name it, for our own product line. And we also offer private label services, for example, for Armada Engineering. So I'm gonna take you guys through the process of how to make a fiberglass part. We're gonna start with a mold. We have an open face mold here right now. There's nothing inside of it. At this point, we're gonna go over to the gel coat booth. We do a two-stage gel coat. We do a white as a first layer and a gray as a backing. Once it's gel coated, it'll sit overnight. At that point, our guys now over here will laminate the part. They first will lay down the filler in all the corners. The filler helps avoid any air pockets on tight radiuses. You'll notice it's got a bunch of excess material on the edges. These parts go into our grinding room. The guys will grind these parts down. It gets passed off to quality control, and it either gets picked up or shipped out.
So lately there's been a whole lot of controversy about artificial intelligence. A lot of people hating on it and some people loving it. I think it's going to be a super useful tool as it progresses and help us advance a lot of technologies in the work that we do. For this project, I've used some artificial intelligence that helps us come up with some concept. I've taken pictures of the pre-runners that we've built and used that as kind of inspiration and gave it features that I want to change in our pre-runner and come up with this new concept that we're looking at here. With this, we've got a little bit of the luxury pre-runner in there and some unique features that are kind of modern, but not too far modern. I think the off-road industry will still accept it. Oh yeah. So on some of these images, I've highlighted areas that I really want to concentrate on, or some key features that I want to make sure we incorporate into the design of this body. We've done some projects together in the past where we did the whole roof and front windshield frame and back windshield frame as one piece. I think that worked out really nice. It just gives a nice solid piece that's easy to install, and it keeps all the window lines intact and aligned with each other. So I'd like to retain that with this design. And same thing over here on the body sides. I think if we get like a one-piece body side that has the whole door frame incorporated into it, that'll really help us with lining up the doors. Those are some of the hardest parts to engineer on a car, especially getting the upper door frame or window frame to line up with that roof line. On this one, I think I'm gonna go with the electric side glass that has no frame on top, kind of like Tesla's doing now, where
it goes in the rubber.
There's just glass that comes up out of the door, and then the seal is attached to the top of the roof, and then the glass seals up against that door. We could probably even try to hide some of the body hardware underneath that door seal, so we'll get a nice clean roof line with no exposed hardware. The hood and the bed sides will be kind of standard to a trophy truck or luxury pre-runner, just a nice one-piece hood. We'll try to incorporate some of the pivoting hood mounting brackets into the mold, and then just a nice clean solid one-piece bedside. Try to keep this simple and easy for everything to align. One thing we did on the pre-runners originally, we dumped out the exhaust out down low. We found it was getting a lot of abuse from rocks and pinching the end of that thing, so we ended up routing them up and exiting out of the top of the bedside, which turned out really cool. We did a nice little stainless steel beauty ring on it, and a lot of customers have been loving that. So on this one, I kind of take it to the next level, kind of like some of the modern cars are doing the rear bumpers, where they have a really nice defined exhaust ring built into the body. So I'd like to try to do that up on top of the bedside. We're gonna dump that exhaust out. And then one thing we did in the pre-runners is we pushed the back firewall back a little bit so that we could get the rear seat back so the third person has a little bit more leg room. I like to do kind of the same thing, maybe try to angle that back windshield and bring it back and do a kind of a cool roof spoiler.
Not many trucks have that detail back there right now, so just that sleek line that kind of comes over the rears and look really clean. And my favorite part's that ram air up front. That's gonna be really nice.
Yeah, we've done this on the pre-runners, and you've been doing it on your Broncos too. I think there's been a lot of great feedback on that, so I want to carry that feature into these hoods as well. So one thing I think we really need to focus on is just ease of assembly on these. My goal is for the end user, put this together in a garage and not have to grind any fiberglass. Hopefully just bolt right up and everything will fit perfectly.
So if you have two A surfaces or two gel coat surfaces touching, those parts are always gonna go together easier. Better fitment, better quality, better ease of installation. I think it's gonna be awesome.
So one thing I've found from all the vehicles that we design is the headlight really drives the shape and the look of the vehicle in the front end. With a lot of the newer modern headlights, they actually wrap pretty far back into the fender of the vehicle. One thing with these trophy trucks with big 40-inch tires and the amount of wheel travel that we have, they'll just come up and wipe out a light like that. So it's really hard to find one that's stubby enough that won't get wiped out by the big old tire. This one's actually really nice quality. We found it's an aftermarket one. The fit and finish on it's super nice. The electronics that go into it are super nice. It's even got an electric control for aiming the headlights, and it all works off a pretty simple 12-volt system. It's not a CAN bus system, so it'll be easy for us to integrate in the wire harness. So next up, we need you to scan this so we can start designing the hood and fenders around it.
Well, sweet. I'll pass it off to my guy. He'll take care of it. He'll scan it, and we'll send it off to you guys so you guys can throw it into your model.
Yeah.
So I'll be scanning these headlights. The whole process is rather simple. You see a 3D scanner, your laptop that has the software to control it. You just put a bunch of positioning targets around this thing. The 3D scanner does all the work pretty much. So I'll go through and getting that set up now.
All right, we're back here at the shop now. ADV scanned the headlight for us and sent us over the CAD model. You can see that here. It's got a lot of detail, some of the mounting tabs, and all the definition on the back. So now we're gonna be dropping that into our chassis model. So this is our complete chassis assembly. You can see we put all the tires in every position that they can travel to, so we make sure that we have clearance. Those tires travel to many different places and can wipe things out pretty easily. So we're gonna have to figure out how to tuck that headlight right here in this corner. All right, so we're gonna drop the headlight, scan into our main chassis assembly, and then we're gonna get to work on trying to position this thing and get the aiming of the headlight correct, lock this into place, and then we'll send this back to ADV so that they can start servicing the body and the hood around the headlight. All right guys, that concludes episode 2. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe so you can stay tuned for episode 3. Thanks guys, see ya. Oh man.